Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, then hi, my name is Lauren. And on my channel, we mostly talk about anything luxury, but we also discuss lifestyle and beauty. So if you're interested in any of these topics, please consider subscribing to my channel and we'll get started with the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be presenting you the real reasons why I'm obsessed with luxury. I think that I have received a fair amount of comments kind of telling me, you know, why is it that you buy these bags? Like, is it for this reason? Is it for that reason? And I've never really explained why. Luxury is kind of like dear to my heart on my channel. So if you're curious to hear the reasons why I love luxe items, then please keep on watching. So this video is obviously going to be very honest, and it's like, you know, it comes from my heart. So if you don't like that, then I would recommend skip it and then, you know, see like a bag review or something like that on my channel. But I would say the number one reason why I'm obsessed with collecting luxe items has to do with like an insecurity that's rooted pretty deeply in my childhood. I feel like, you know, I don't come from the best family, and my parents really were scraping by to send me to a private school, which I really appreciated, and I'm very thankful for that. But you know, in a private school, when you don't have a lot of money, things can be pretty hard for you. So I was heavily bullied when I was in school because I didn't have the nice things that other kids had. You know, my clothes were like very out of trend. Some of them had holes in them. I had like overgrown most of them, and my classmates had these like, you know, Moncler jackets and these like, I don't know, LV handbags and things like that, and I didn't have any of that. And so now I feel like I kind of need to overcompensate for what I didn't have when I was younger. And so I feel like then the more that I buy now, the better I feel about my past. So it's kind of like a revenge on my past, if you will. So it makes me feel more safe, and it makes me feel better about, you know, how I deal with my past and how I kind of like see myself as well. So I would say that's the number one reason why I buy luxe items. The next reason why I buy luxe items has to do with how I deal with my pride. So I feel very proud of myself when I'm able to acquire these items that, you know, I thought would never even remotely be like in perspective for me, you know, that I never really thought that I would acquire. And so it's very humbling to see, you know, where I came from and where I'm at now. Obviously, you know, I know that a lot of people have a lot more money than me, and that's normal, right? And that's kind of part of life. That's something that you have to accept. But I'm very happy with where I'm at now, and I feel very proud of being able to acquire these items with working very hard. So it really makes me happy. It kind of, you know, gives me like a sense of achievement, and it makes me proud not only for me right now, but also for like my younger self, my younger version. I feel like she would be really proud of, you know, where I'm at. And when I'm able to afford these like large purchases, there is such a sense of joy that sometimes like it's a little overwhelming. So if you've been subscribed to my channel, you know that I've talked about it here and there in a couple of videos, but I'm in the process of acquiring an Audemars Piguet watch, which is a big deal for me. And so I went to put my name down on the wait list in New York at the boutique, and that day I had so many emotions inside. I'm the girl that like never cries, and I had tears that were like coming out of my eyes because I was thinking of, you know, my little girl, like my little self, like my little 7 or 8 year old version would have never dreamt that this would have been possible. And it was really happy. It was like very happy tears and very happy moment. So I feel very proud of myself when I'm able to, you know, acquire these items. They obviously bring me a lot of joy, but also this overarching sense of achievement. Next, I would say that I kind of see luxe items as my armor. that if I didn't have them, I would feel very naked without, like, you know, people could see like right through me, could see who I was exactly. And with them, I kind of feel a whole lot better about myself. And I think that kind of has to do with the earlier point that I made, the first point about, you know, an insecurity. I still feel like because I was always less than or not as attractive or rich or well-dressed or whatever as so-and-so, I need to overcompensate, and I have this need now to kind of be better than others. I know it sounds so bad to say, it sounds really mean. It doesn't come from a place of like wanting to be mean or wanting to, you know, talk less about people or anything like that, and that's something that I don't do. But I do need to feel kind of confident about myself. And confidence or self-confidence is definitely something that I would need to work on. I'm on team fake it till you make it. And I think that having these luxe items really allows me to kind of like fake it in a way where people really don't know. And you know, the more confident I am in faking it, the more maybe actually confident I become, if that makes sense. So I think that, you know, these luxe items really help me to kind of build the person that I am today. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not like a therapy, it's not like therapy sessions, and it's not like, I don't know, medication or anything. Like, I don't do any of that, but you know, I probably should at least do some therapy sessions. But I love a good retail therapy. I mean, you know, it's called retail therapy for something, right? So I feel like it makes me feel better about myself. And if I didn't have them, sometimes, you know, I don't have like my luxe items, whether it's a bag or jewelry or something. And I try to really reserve that for the moments where like I know that I will not encounter anybody. But there's always, you know, like a mistake or like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, at work, for example, I try to dress very, very conservative and not, you know, show off like a billion brands. And, you know, I don't like wear like a bracelet stack or anything like that. I have like a plain black handbag that's not, you know, on display or anything. And sometimes, you know, like I'll encounter these moms that I see have like these beautiful handbags and all that. Some of them I do have, some of them I do not. But when I'm without my luxe items, then I feel, I don't know, like uneasy. I feel like, you know, what do they think of me? What, you know, are they imagining in their head that I'm like some type of like little poor girl or something like that? And then that kind of like brings me back to, you know, actually being a little poor girl. And it's not a really pleasant experience. So I tend to really keep these luxe items on at all times, or, you know, as much as I can, and then kind of, you know, build up a wall of luxe items as like an armor to make me feel better. Next, the next reason why I love luxe items and I love wearing them and collecting them has to do with a category that I would call RBF. So obviously it stands for resting bitch face. So, you know, I love to smile and I'm a very happy person, and I love to smile on camera and in general in real life. But I think that during moments where I feel like I don't want people to talk to me, I have a resting bitch face. And I do feel like luxe items make me a little unapproachable. And I take that in a good way, which is kind of weird. I know that like normally it's not, you know, a positive connotation to be unapproachable. But here I feel like when I really don't want to talk to strangers, you know, in situations when I want to be by myself, I don't want people to come talk to me, whether it's like, you know, women or men, I really feel like these luxe items make me very unapproachable, and I like that, and it works. Maybe not so much with men, because I think that they don't realize as much like the value of things and what's what. But definitely with women, it works. Now, the kind of catch with that, the downside, is that I feel like the women who also have, you know, luxe items will want to come talk to me, but then I also feel like, oh, you know, this might be an opportunity to make a friend. And so then I'm obviously a lot more positive about, you know, being approached by a stranger who shares, you know, similar interests and like has things in common with me. And that kind of on that same note brings me to my next point, which I'll include in this same category, is it really is a community. I feel like luxe items are kind of like a niche thing, like a hobby that a lot of people have, and I feel like it brings a lot of people together, on the same note as, like, I don't know, knitting or reading, or there's like a knitting club. I feel like, I imagine like every little small town in America has like a knitting club, so I feel like luxe items are like a community, and I feel very happy and very grateful to be part of that community here on YouTube. I feel like it's awesome, and it definitely kind of like hypes me up. And lastly, I would say that I use luxe items as like a reward. So that's the reason why I buy them and why, I like collecting them. I use them as a reward. So for example, I tend to kind of schedule my purchases out in advance. Not a lot is spontaneous with me. So I have like a schedule of when I'm going to buy what. And, let's say that I buy maybe something every, let's say 3-4 months. That seems realistic. Then I have this like good perspective of buying that in like the next 3-4 months, and it really keeps me going. And I think that sometimes like for everybody, life can be tough. Sometimes you encounter discouraging tough moments, discouraging situations, and it's hard sometimes to keep going, but that really does help me to keep going. It's kind of like my reward for having put up with this and that for the past like 3-4 months. Then I get to buy myself like a pair of shoes or a handbag or like a piece of jewelry, and it really makes me happy. It's something that's very hard to explain. I think receiving gifts is definitely part of my love languages. I would say it's probably the top one thing in my love languages. I know it sounds so bad. It definitely sounds very superficial, but at the same time, I feel like the person really has to like spend time thinking about what you would want and then go buy it. So it's like a big effort. It's like, along with like quality time, one of the love languages that requires the most effort from the other person. And so that for me is something that I value a lot. And then you get to have, something fun that you get to keep and like wear. So, why not? But yeah, I feel like for me, I use that as a reward for having gone through tough situations. And kind of, having a good attitude and not letting myself be down or be, discouraged or sad. And that really is helpful. I know that a lot of other people might kind of use it the opposite way, which is like when they are sad, then they buy that. They buy like, some luxe items. And I would love to do that. But I feel like I don't have enough money to do that at all, because I feel like if every time I'm sad or discouraged or I encounter like a roadblock, I have to buy something, then I need like an XXXXL budget, because I encounter big roadblocks. So I feel like, if every time I have a setback I need to buy something, it's not going to be sustainable for me, or I need to really lower the standard of what I buy. Then I need to buy like $200 worth of stuff. I don't know, maybe a perfume or whatever, but I don't really want that. I tend to kind of like save my money for larger purchases and then have fewer of them over time. That's really what works best for me. So I love using luxe items as a reward for having gone through tough situations. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was at least informational for you, and I hope that it did help you to see that if you kind of like found yourself in these situations, and if you recognize yourself as a buyer of luxe items in these situations, that you were not alone. I feel like, we all have our instances where we're not perfect, and I kind of liked to show you that I was very far from perfect, and that I definitely had a lot of flaws, character flaws, I would say. But I feel like buying luxe items has been a big up in my life, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to do it. By the way, please do let me know in the comments down below what the reasons for you to buy luxe items are, because I would really love to find out. I feel like I would maybe need some additional reasons to buy them, because you can never have too many. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.